This is my instant match review to the Wolverhampton. I can't even say it. The Wolverhampton Wanderers 4, Tottenham Hotspur 2 game at Molineux. And, well, I try and make these instant match reviews about 10 minutes long, and it's going to be hard because I'm quite determined not to be like completely negative, but simply the performance was abysmal, abhorrent. We made 4 individual mistakes. Right now I'm being seeing a clip of Vicario telling Lucas Bergvall to keep his chin up. Well, Vicario made 2 individual errors that led to goals. Bergvall did make an individual error that led to the 4th goal, but Bergvall's a kid who came on and literally was the only person who did anything good that led to us scoring a goal. So I don't care that he made a mistake leading to goal because he was trying to make things happen. He was trying to get on the ball. He was trying to beat a man. So I don't mind that for Lucas Bergvall, but there is so much dross in this squad. And any time where Ange tries to make changes, you just know that you're going to get a training ground level game where they don't give a shit. And as a result, you play against teams who do give a shit. And as a result, Wolves were probably 25% better than Spurs in terms of everything today, in terms of their desire, in terms of their work rate, getting on the ball, wanting to make things happen. But then at the same time, tactically, never like shoving 8 players forward. And therefore, when they lose the ball, they've still got a good base to work from and not concede. And they still conceded 2 goals against us because they're Wolves and they're, towards the bottom of the league. They're just showing the away fans now. Not best pleased would be an understatement. I think it's fair to say. But was it a surprise? Spurs now in 15th place, 37 points. Wolves 16th, 35 points. West Ham 17th, 35. So Liverpool away next week. Every chance we'll be in 17th in the league by then. Ipswich, thankfully, on 21 points. Let's see, did Ipswich get a result against Chelsea? It's still going on, but they are 2-2 currently against Chelsea. Listen, I know it's been said, but my God, most other seasons, a lot of other seasons in the Premier League, Tottenham would be in a serious relegation fight. 37 points, and hard to see where other points are coming from. But look, as I said, was it a surprise that we lost 4-2 to Wolves today? No. I said in the opening, I said it to my girlfriend, I said, Spurs will lose today. They've got nothing about them. I hate to hark back to the Pochettino games, but they fucking cared. They gave a shit. And they had enough, even in games where maybe there were more important games the same week. They still turned up to games like this and knew that if they put in the required work rate, the opposition would be nervous enough themselves to give them goals. And for the second time this week now, I'm watching an opposition team, raising their arms and cheering and celebrating to their fans because they've turned over Spurs. And Frankfurt didn't even turn us over. They just got a draw. Listen, I've been doing the watch along and a lot of people in the comments, obviously very staunchly Ange out. And a few people in the comments just being like, how can you blame Ange when we've made 4 individual errors? Well, I'm afraid, listen, we all wanted to see good football and attacking football, but it's Ozzy. This is Ozzy Ardiles shit. I'm sorry. This is Ozzy Ardiles' famous 5 bollocks. For those of you too young to remember, Ozzy Ardiles came in as Spurs manager under Alan Sugar in the early 90s. And he played what was known as the famous 5 forwards. Dumitrescu, Barnby, Sheringham, Klinsmann, Anderton. And, for the first couple of games, we won 3-2 away at Sheffield Wednesday on the opening day. And we beat Everton at home and Klinsmann scored an overhead kick. But we could not defend for shit. And that is what watching Spurs in the Premier League is like this season. And I'll say it again, I've said it many times. Everybody loved Bielsa at Leeds. He did a brilliant job in the Championship, blew them away. And then in the Premier League, he was picked off. And Ange, time and time again, tactically, is being picked off. And even in these games where, I didn't come into this game really caring that much because I only care about Thursday night. But I don't want to be embarrassed. Romero gave away a goal from trying to pass when he should have just hacked it off the pitch. Bergvall trying to beat a man when he shouldn't have done. But like I said, I don't blame him for it. Vicario, just lack of concentration, not making the right decision. And, well, let me put it this way. It would be the comeback to end all comebacks if Ange Postecoglou found a way to win the Europa League this year, keep his job, and then do a job good enough next season to not get sacked. And I said it during the watch-along, if we manage to win the Europa League, and with the lack of momentum and the disappointing mentality within the club and the squad, I find it very difficult to believe that we will. But if we find a way, because let's not forget, we did put in a better performance against Frankfurt in the week, but if we find a way, it would be the biggest shock in football, because there's no momentum, no mentality, no belief, and a massive lack of concentration at important times. I don't know. I do not know. I'll go for some player ratings. Vicario, 3. Looked shaky the entire game. Gray, 4. Didn't look great, I have to say. Not really given many options by other players. There was a severe lack of movement on the pitch. Just jogging around. I've said it time and time again. I'll say it again. Tottenham and Manchester United are so similar at the moment. When you watch them in these games against teams who play kind of well-drilled shape, low block, mid-block, they struggle and there's no movement. And you just watch these teams, United and Spurs, jogging about like they have some kind of entitlement to win these games. Well, you don't, mate. You're going to finish 17th in the league because you shouldn't be entitled and think you have the right to just turn up and win these games. Jed Spence put a shift in. I'll give him a 6. Romero, I'm going to have to give only a 5 because of that mistake. Ben Davis tried, but probably only a 5. Midfield, Bissouma got hiked off after 50 minutes. Give him a 4. Sarr got hiked off after 50 minutes. I'll give him a 5. Madison, 6, tried hard, didn't really do much. Johnson, 5.5. Solanke, 5. Tell, I thought looked like he was trying stuff in the first half at least, so I'll give him a 6. But it was boring. It was boring to watch. It was shit. Fascinated once again to hear what Ange Postecoglou will come out and say. What will he blame? The Thursday, Sunday difficulty? Having to rest players for this Thursday? Yeah. I mean, let's try and look at some positives Thursday night. A chance for the team to make everybody forget about this. Win or bust, judgment day again. We're still in the tie, and that's important. A lot of people were saying, weren't they, it's unfair that Tottenham had to play their first game of the 2 legs in the Europa League quarterfinal at home and their away leg away. I disagree. I think it's lucky that we had to play the first one at home because it means we're still in it away. I think if we'd played the first leg away, there's every chance we'd lost 3-4-0 and we'd be out of the tie. So we're still in it, and we have a chance to let players like Christian Romero, who has won 2 Copa Americas and a World Cup, and then turns up in games like this, and for about the 6th time this season, his lack of concentration has given away a goal. We have a chance for him to show that he can take the game by the scruff of the neck away at Frankfurt in a difficult atmosphere and get Tottenham through it. And that's all we can hope for, because if he doesn't, then it's no good, mate, you having liked posts this season where journalists have said Romero will want to leave the club if Ange Postecoglou is sacked. Because if you lose on Thursday night at Eintracht Frankfurt, trust me, Ange Postecoglou will be sacked on Friday. And Matty Wells will be announced, just like Christian Stellini was, as the manager of Tottenham Hotspur, with Ryan Mason being his assistant until the end of the season. That is what I'm 100% sure that is what will happen on Friday if we go out against Eintracht Frankfurt. And it doesn't matter how we go out. It doesn't matter if we get absolutely dicked, and it doesn't matter if we lose on penalties. We will be basically in 17th place in the league, because that's where we'll be after we lose at Anfield next weekend. And Ange will not have a job on Friday. So those players, if they really like playing for him, as they claim they do, they need to put in a performance that wins us that match and takes us through to a semi-final, potentially against Bodo Glimt over 2 legs, which will not be easy, especially away from home in cold Norway, frozen Norway. But is it a semi-final of a Europa League that you would want? Yes. Yes, it is. So we're now properly at all or nothing, win or bust stage, Thursday night, away at Eintracht Frankfurt, having just got dicked 4-2 by Wolverhampton Wanderers in the league. So it's up to you, Ange, mate. It's up to the players. You got to show us. Do you want it? Do you want to play for Ange Postecoglou? Do you seriously want to win a European trophy this season? And if you do, you've got to show your full ability and desire and motivation Thursday night. And I promise you, if you win that, Spurs players and Ange, we'll forget about this result very, very quickly. But it's a tough watch and it's ugly stuff. All right, guys, that has been my instant match review. Apologies if you didn't feel like I did enough analysis, but you know, I have written notes throughout the whole game, but Spurs were just dog shit and there was nothing really to cheer about. And we scored 2 goals and even those were nothing to cheer about. Wolves gave us one of them. The other was from a set piece. Maybe that will give us confidence to score a set piece on Thursday because I think we might need to. All right. Please do give this video a like if you haven't and do subscribe to the channel. Cheers.